Welcome back to another explainer. Look, if you've been tuning into the financial markets lately, you've probably heard a ton of loud, honestly chaotic panic. You know the questions, is the AI bubble popping? Are competitors finally catching up? But here's the thing. While the market is screaming about surface-level hardware rumors and stock dips, NVIDIA has been quietly executing a revolutionary evolution of their entire business model. Seriously, it's a game changer. Today, we're going to look past all that noise to uncover NVIDIA's invisible pivot. We're going to explore how they are fundamentally transforming from just a hardware supplier into the strategic financial architect of the entire AI economy. To anchor our discussion, let's start with this number, 19.68. That is NVIDIA's forward price-to-earnings ratio right now. Now, despite the really loud narratives claiming that a multi-trillion-dollar company can't possibly grow anymore, or that an AI crash is literally right around the corner, this number tells a completely different story. A forward PE of under 20 for a high-growth tech titan, that is surprisingly cheap. It really forces us to ask a critical question. Are we actually at the end of the AI boom, or are we just in the very early innings of a much larger structural market shift? Section 1. The FUD. Rumors and rivals. Okay, let's dive into this. To understand where NVIDIA is going, we first have to look at what the market thinks is currently threatening them. Right now, there's a pretty prominent rumor circulating from the research group Semi-Analysis. They're claiming that just months after being demoed, NVIDIA's highly anticipated Kyber NVL144, which is absolutely crucial tech for connecting multiple GPUs, is facing major manufacturing setbacks and supply chain issues. They're saying this could potentially push its release all the way back to 2028. Now, it is super important to note that NVIDIA has officially denied these claims. They've stated unequivocally that their product roadmap remains entirely intact. And hey, we aren't here to pick sides on the rumor mill, but we do need to recognize that the mere possibility of a delay is causing major jitters, specifically because of what the competition is up to. And this brilliantly illustrates why those rumors actually matter. You see, the true secret to NVIDIA's inference dominance hasn't just been their individual chips, it's their ability to scale up. Their current NVL72 system allows them to link 72 GPUs together super efficiently. Up until now, competitors like AMD could only link a fraction of that. But AMD is pushing hard. Their upcoming MI450 rack-scale solution is aiming to connect 72 GPUs together, directly challenging NVIDIA's long-standing scaling supremacy. So if NVIDIA's next-generation scaling tech really is delayed, the market fears it creates this dangerous window for rivals to finally catch up. But here's what the rumor mill is totally missing. NVIDIA isn't just relying on scaling up their GPUs anymore. They're actually fortifying their position by scaling out. They're aggressively pushing solutions beyond the GPU, like the Vera CPU for specific advanced workloads, and the Grok platform, which connects GPUs to application-specific integrated circuits, or ASICs. This broad, scale-out approach aims to fundamentally change the total cost of ownership for data centers. It proves that NVIDIA's defense is multi-layered. But honestly, even these advanced hardware solutions are just the tip of the iceberg. Section 2. The fundamental shift. July 1st. We really need to pivot hard right now from these surface-level hardware battles to an absolutely massive, completely under-the-radar announcement from July 1st. To understand it, you have to understand neo-cloud players. These are cloud providers that specialize strictly in AI. But because AI infrastructure is breathtakingly expensive, these neo-clouds can't just buy hardware outright. They need massive loans from traditional financial institutions. And, as you might guess, to get those loans, lenders demand ironclad proof of future revenue. Let's walk through the steps of this old model to see why it's fundamentally broken. Step 1. The infrastructure requires massive upfront capital. Step 2. To release that capital, lenders force neoclouds to secure massive 5-year commitments from their customers. Step 3. Because of those rigid, long-term contract requirements, brilliant startups, regional players, and researchers are completely locked out. They don't have the capital to sign a 5-year contract. As a result, only the massive tech hyperscalers can afford to play in the AI infrastructure space. This financial wall was restricting the entire industry's growth. Enter NVIDIA's July 1st solution. It's a brand new strategic pivot, a credit support, and revenue sharing model. Rather than just selling the hardware and walking away, NVIDIA is stepping into the financial side of things. They are actively partnering with these neoclouds, acting as a financial backstop to satisfy the traditional lenders and completely shattering that old financial bottleneck. It's a total paradigm shift. Section 3. Democratizing future innovation. So why take on this financial role at all? The core motive is democratizing future innovation. NVIDIA realizes that if they only rely on the massive hyperscalers to buy their hardware, their market cap is inherently capped. They need the whole ecosystem to thrive. So the crucial point is this. The next massive breakthrough in AI isn't necessarily going to come from today's tech giants. It's probably going to come from a small startup currently operating out of a garage, the next OpenAI for healthcare or robotics or maybe space travel. But those startups don't need a 5-year compute contract. They just need to rent top-tier compute power for 3 to 6 months to train their specific models. NVIDIA's new financial pivot is entirely designed to give those specialized innovators exactly what they need, exactly when they need it. Here is how this new mechanism actually works in practice. Step 1. NVIDIA uses its massive balance sheet to provide a revenue backstop, essentially a financial guarantee, to neocloud partners like CoreWeave and Nebius. Step 2. Armed with NVIDIA's guarantee, these neoclouds easily get the loans they need to build massive AI data centers. Step 3. Because NVIDIA uniquely understands both the supply chain and global demand, they act as a matchmaker. They take that specialized healthcare startup needing a 3-month rental and funnel them directly to the neocloud. The startup gets their compute, the neocloud gets their revenue, and NVIDIA successfully expands the market. It's a win for everybody. Section 4. The Master Blueprint Strategy. Now, you might think stepping into financing is a weird, risky departure for a chip designer. But let's move to the timeline and see how this builds perfectly on their past behaviors. Years ago, NVIDIA launched DGX Cloud. People thought they were competing with Amazon and Google, but they actually weren't. They were providing a blueprint, showing those cloud giants exactly how to build AI infrastructure. Then they provided the MGX Rex Scale blueprint, showing server builders how to optimize. Next came the data center blueprints, literally showing companies the exact cooling and power specs needed for gigawatt facilities. Now in the present, they're simply moving to the next hurdle. They are providing a blueprint for the financial sector. And here is why this is so important. Traditional financial institutions are notoriously slow to adopt and understand new technology. They see AI and they immediately fear a bubble. NVIDIA is stepping in to show these lenders exactly how profitable and how safe AI financing can be. By creating this blueprint, NVIDIA simultaneously reduces the entry hurdles for the fastest-growing segment of the market, while also carving out a brand-new, highly lucrative revenue-sharing business for themselves. Section 5. Orchestrating the AI economy. This brings our explainer full circle. When you look at the hardware rumors, the scaling competition, and this new financing model all together, you have to stop seeing NVIDIA as just a company that makes really fast chips. Notice how they're rapidly diversifying their customer base. They are moving away from a precarious reliance on a few hyperscalers and actively capturing a massive, diversified mix of startups, research organizations, and regional players. Because NVIDIA uniquely commands the supply chain and has unparalleled visibility into global compute demand, they're literally the only company positioned to capture this high-margin revenue sharing at scale. This diversification is their ultimate defense against market volatility and competition. Which leaves us with this final, absolutely vital question to ponder. When a company is not only designing the chips, but also blueprinting the data centers, matchmaking the customers, and financially backstopping the cloud providers, are they still just a hardware supplier? Or have we just witnessed NVIDIA's invisible pivot into becoming the indispensable architect of the entire AI economy? The next time you hear panic over a localized hardware delay, remember to look at the bigger picture. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep learning, and I'll see you on the next one.